Bim, bim, bidi, bim, bidim, bim, bidim, bidim, bidim. Amazing. Very, very, very amazing. We're existing, yes. Let me see. We're already fine, basically. Is it properly working? How is it? Yeah, okay, it is fine. So we should have everything in place. I shouldn't need to worry myself about anything, right? This, yes, okay, give me a second. I do this. There it is. Now, for real, let me know. Oh my god, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome. We're starting a little bit late, but we are anyways here. So, at the very least, we are trying to do something. Let me see. I need to see window capture properties here. Browser. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Amazing. Well, basically, we have everything in place. So, aside from that, we can properly say hello everybody. This is another very nice session. In this particular case, obviously, really, we're continuing with. Did I even change the title of this? I think I didn't change the title. I think I forgot to change the title, right? Let me see. Let me see. I think I even forgot to do that, right? Yeah. I had one thing to do and I didn't do it. I am amazing. I am a professional content creator. Give me a second. My god. Let me wait. Let me change this. Let me close this. Yes, and Mahabharata. We're on the page 530 of 7035. There it is. Now I didn't forget anything. Let me see. There it is. Quality as in the potato. Yeah, the potato is better. And if you are talking about the mic, and also sorry, hello Vita, hello, sorry for not saying hello earlier. Yes, I mean both things. The microphone, because I have it on my hand, and the potato are working better than before, because now I am doing the things that I needed to do before, like hold the mic and not have so many filters applied to the potato. So we are kind of fine. We're pretty fine. Oh yeah. I mean, it was kind of needed, It was too much. Wait here. It was too much of a mean look of a mean human, mean potato, mean dangerous individual, basically. There it is. Because you see, compared to the fifth iteration of this, the first one wasn't so dangerous. No, well, kind of the opposite. The first one was dangerous, but this one is classier. This one is better. This one has less aggressiveness to it, It doesn't feel so bad. Yeah. It was needed. What? What do you mean that it wasn't needed? What? It was needed, yes. We needed to not be so intimidating to others. Why would you need to be intimidating towards other people? We never need that, We want to have a great space, and we cannot do it if we are mean to every single one. So yes, chill. We are fine. We are better than ever before. But well, I hope you liked everything. And also, yes, the microphone, as I said, I needed to hold it, thing that I wasn't doing, so now it should be properly working. Because I literally only needed to hold the microphone closer to my mouth. Because if I have it like where I had it before, it is like 10 or 15 centimeters far from my mouth. The audio quality drops incredibly bad. But if I have it like over here, because I am holding it, it is so much better. And also, I think, let me see. I think it still gets picked up by the because yeah, I can even start to whisper and I can kind of talk without really trying so hard. But at the same time, I do not like to do it because I have the tendency of not speaking louder, and it gets kind of. I don't think it is boring, but it is annoying because you really need to pay attention to what I am saying. But anyways, we have a good audio. We have at the very least good audio. So let us start the thing that we need to do the most right now. Let me book. We are here. Book. Mahabharata. Come to 130. We left there. It was about. I was reading. It was about. The war that is going to start out the kings and the princesses and all of that. Basically, we are on that part of this amazing book, and we're right now analyzing, not analyzing, we're simply reading what is it that is going to happen with all of these dynasties, because the rest is kind of devoid of anything for me to say properly. So yeah, continuing. Canto 130. Samkheva Parva continued. By Sampayana said, Drona comes to Hastinapura and, without disclosing his presence in the city, begins living in the house of his brother-in-law, Kripa. During the intervals between Kripa's classes to the Kuru princess, Drona's son Aswadhama gives Kunti's sons some casual hints about the use of arms, but he does not reveal his true skills even to them, or how mighty he is. Drona has been living secretly in Kripa's house for some time, when, one day, all the Kuru princes come out of the city together. They begin to roam about in freedom and to play with a ball, which soon enough falls down a well. The young Kshatriyas do their best to retrieve the ball, but in vain. They cannot fetch it out. Probably. I mean, I don't think. Also, welcome, Pinko. Yes, I know that our friend Shiva is capable of eating a dimple sandwich without any problem at all. I know it is like a sacrifice that he consumes. Almost a beautiful thing to do. So yes, do not worry about it. He can survive anything, I hope. But well, he'll they feel ashamed and begin to look at one another with some anxiety. Imagine the great scions of the House of Kuru not being able to get a ball out of a well. Suddenly, they see a rather dark-skinned, lean Brahmana quite close to them. He has obviously just performed the Agnihotra and sanctified himself with it, and finished his Nitya, his daily worship. The princes are drawn to the stranger and surround him, smiling slightly. Drona says, "Well, princess, a shame upon you, Kshatriya prowess, and a shame also upon your skill at arms, to think that you are born in the race of Bharata and cannot retrieve a ball from a well. Promise to feed me tonight, and I will fetch out your ball for you with these blades of grass. Look, I will throw my ring after your ball and fetch that as well." Drona pulls a valuable ring from his finger and throws it into the well. Yudhishthira says, "Brahmana, you ask for a trifle. Won't Acharya Kripa's leave ask us for something that will last you a lifetime?" His smile widening, Drona says, "With mantras I will make astras of these long blades of grass. These grass will have powers that other weapons do not. One blade will pierce your ball, another my ring, and the rest shall form a chain and fetch both out of the well." Hello, welcome. We're ready. Welcome. Without a moment's hesitation, Drona does exactly as. What the fuck? Without a moment's hesitation, Drona does exactly as he says. The princes goggle. They feel their chests will burst with wonder and disbelief. They whisper, "We bow to you, O Brahmana. No one on earth has your skills. Tell us who you are. Tell us whose son you are. Tell us what we can do for you." Drona replies, Go to Bhishma, describe me to him, and tell him what I did. He will know who I am." The princess cried, "We will," and ran to their grandsire and tell him about the extraordinary Brahmana's feat. Bhishma knows at once that this is Drona they describe. He knows that this is the guru he has been seeking for his grandsons, and goes out himself to welcome the Brahmana reverently and brings him into the palace. Bhishma, greatest of warriors, asked Drona, "What brings a Mahapurusha like you to Hastinapura?" Drona tells him his story. Mighty Bhishma, I once went to the Rishi Agnivesha to learn the use of weapons and the Astra Shastra from him. I lived as a brahmachari with Hatha on my head and served my guru humbly for many years. At that time, the Panchala prince Drupada Yagnasena also lived in the same asrama, serving Agnivesha as I did for the same reason that I did. He and I became friends. He always looked after me, and we grew close as brothers, loving each other dearly. As I said, many years we spent together. Oh, Kurushtama, we were together from our early boyhood, studying together, and Drupada always did and said whatever he felt would please me. Once, oh Bhishma, he said to me, "Drona, I am my great father's favorite son. When I become king of the Panchalas, my kingdom shall be yours, my precious friend. This I swear. My kingship, my wealth, and my happiness will all depend on you, O Drona." Finally, we finished our tutelage, and he left for home. We parted warmly. He repeated what he had said to me, and ever since I have kept it in my heart. A while later, my father wanted me to marry, and since I also wanted to have a son, I married Kripi of the short hair, of great intelligence, who kept many stern bratas and always performed the Agnihotra and other austere rituals. In time, she gave birth to her son Aswadhama, who is as splendid as the sun and as powerful. I was as delighted when my son was born as my father had been when I was born. I doted on him. One day, Aswadhama saw some rich men's sons drinking milk, which we could not afford, and began crying. I felt so stricken that I lost my very reason. Why? I could not have told east from west or north from south, so sad did I feel. I could have begged for a cow, but it would have been of someone who had only. Welcome. Welcome, Jamek. Sorry. Yes, it only was a minute. Hello. Sorry for not saying anything earlier. Welcome. We are 133 still. Canto. Continuing. So sad did I feel. I could have begged for a cow, but it would have been of someone who had only a few cows himself, and would have perhaps had to stop performing his sacrifices and lost Punya because of that. Instead, I decided I would beg a cow from someone who had many cows and will not feel the loss of one. I wandered from country to country, kingdom to kingdom, but I could not get myself a milch cow. When I returned home, disappointed, I saw something that truly broke my heart. Some of my son's playmates mixed powdered rice and water and gave it to my little Aswadhama, telling him that it was milk. My poor child drank it eagerly and began to dance for joy, crying, "I have drunk milk today." His friends grinned at his naivety. Then there were those that whispered, but within my hearing, Drona claims to be the greatest master of weapons on earth, but he makes no effort to earn a livelihood, and his son drinks rice powder mixed in water and dances for joy, thinking that it is milk. I was desperate, but I still decided that even if I had to live as an outcast, I would not become anyone's servant for the sake of wealth. Then I heard that Drupada, my old friend, had become king and of the Somaka Panchalas. In great joy, the words he had once said to me ringing in my head. Fondly remembering all old friendship, I took my wife and my child and went in great hope to Drupada's kingdom. He made me wait a day before he even allowed me into his court, but I never doubted him for a moment. Entering his grand sabha, I cried, "Purushavyaraka, tiger among men, I am your friend, Drona, to whom you promise your kingdom. I approached him confidently, as a friend should, but Drupada laughed in my face. He mocked me, saying, Brahmana, surely you are dim-witted that you suddenly claim to be my friend. Fool, how can a great king like me and a pauper like you be friends? Yes, once we were both students in your father's asrama, and then we were equals and also friends. Time wears all things away, and friendship as well. In this world, no friendship endures in any heart. For time gnaws at it, and anger destroys it. Forget, Brahmanatotama, that we were ever friends. The old friendship that I had with you was for a specific purpose, between a rich man and a poor one, between a learned man and and an unlettered one, between a hero and a coward. Who can there ever be friendship? Why do you want to be my friend? There can be friendship or even enmity between equals in wealth or in strength. A beggar and a king can neither have friendship nor enmity between them, for they are not equals, but a superior and an inferior. A pure-born man can never have friendship with a low-born one. A man who is a Maharata cannot be the friend of a man who is not a Maharata, and a king cannot be the friend of one who is not a king. Tell me, foolish Drona, why do you invoke our old friendship and dream of renewing it? I do not remember ever having promised you my king. But, Brahmana, I will certainly give you shelter for a night. Don't fool. With my wife and child, I left his palace and his city immediately, vowing in my heart that to do what I certainly will. And soon anger sits in me. Oh Bhishma, ever since Drupada humiliated me, his mockery rings in my ears. I have come to the Gurus to find gift and obedient pupils. I have come to fulfill your wishes. Tell me what I should do now. Bhishma says to Bharadwaja's son, string your bow, Brahmana, and make the Kuru princess muster warriors. You shall have honor and worship in Hastinapura, and a fine home filled with every luxury, which you must enjoy to your heart's content. Drona, from now on, you are the lord of whatever wealth the Kurus own, and of their kingdom and sovereignty. From today, the Kurus belong to you, so whatever the wish that burns your heart, consider it already accomplished. You, O Brahmana, are the fruit of our greatest punya and fortune. By coming here, you confer the greatest favor upon me. Okay, I was going to say the only probably kind of interesting thing to analyze was the idea that no men are equal, but at the same time, it seems that the narrative is kind of fighting against that particular idea. Like, even if they are not equal, there shouldn't be any problem about being friends with someone who is poor and someone who is rich if you are the opposite of them. So, yeah, I don't think I can say anything at all if that is true. Then, so yeah, continuing, because the rest also has not that much more for me to say. So yes, Canto 134. Samkhavaparva continued. By Sampayana said, honored by Bhishma, that Manabotama Drona, the husband, now begins living openly among the Kurus, who duly revere him. When he has rest, Bhishma brings his grandsons to the Brahmana, and also many precious gifts. The mighty Bhishma joyfully gives Bharadwaja's son a fine house in which to live, stocked with rice and furnished with every comfort and all manners of wealth. Drona, best of archers, now accepts the sons of Pandu and the sons of Nagaratagashtra to be his Sishyas. He takes them apart, makes them touch his feet, and then says to them with some emotion, there is something that I want you to do for me when I have made you master warriors. Tell me, princess, that you will do what I want. All the other Kuru princes remain silent, but without a moment's hesitation, Arjuna says, I will do whatever you want. Drona clasps Arjuna in an embrace, sniffs the top of the prince's head repeatedly in affection, and tears roll down his cheeks. The prince's tutelage begins, and he teaches them the use of weapons both mundane and unearthly. Bharatari Shabha. Apart from the young gurus, many other Kshatriyas princes from other lands come to Drona for instruction, including the Suta's son, Karna. Karna is envious of Arjuna and frequently taunts the Pandava. Duryodhana befriends him, and together they always mock all the sons of Pandu. But Arjuna is entirely devoted to the study of the Astra Shastra and becomes like his master's shadow. He excels all the rest of his Okay, he excels all the rest in his natural gifts. His prowess, especially with longbow, and his dedication and perseverance. Drona teaches them all equally, but quickly Arjuna outstrips the others, and the master is soon convinced that none of the rest could ever hope to match the skills of this pupil, the son of Indra. Drona's lessons continue, and one day he gives all his pupils earthen pots to fill with water from the river and bring back. To his own sons, as Swathama, he gives a pot with a larger mouth than all the rest. He says that the lesson will begin as soon as the first student arrives in his presence with a full water pot. Of course, as Swathama arrives earlier than the princess and his father imparts some choice secrets of the Astra Shastra to him. Arjuna chafes at this for some days. Then, one morning, he arrives with a filled water pot long before even Aswadhama, and in honor now, Drona teaches this exceptional pupil before the others. He shares his special secrets with Arjuna, who has used the Varunastra to fill his vessel. So, Aswadhama loses his advantage and Arjuna serves his guru so diligently and lovingly that he becomes Drona's favorite Shishya. Yes, as dear to him at least as his own son. One day, Drona summons the palace cook and says to him, "Never serve Arjuna his meal in the dark, and do not tell him that I said anything to you." However, just a few days later, while Arjuna is eating his night meal, a sudden gust of wind blows out the lamp upon his table. Arjuna continues eating in the dark. By force of habit, he can't taking the food to his mouth without the help of his eyes. That brilliant prince does not fail to notice this. It means that now he can continue to practice his archery at night. The same night, Drona hears the long twang of a bowstring, and coming out embraces his favorite Shishya. The Acharya cries, "I swear to you will be the greatest archer in the world, and no one shall be your equal." Now Drona teaches Arjuna the art of fighting from horseback, from the back of an elephant, from a chariot, and on the ground. He teaches Arjuna all about the mace, the sword, the lance, the spear, and the dart. He teaches him how to fight many opponents simultaneously. Drona's fame as an unrivaled master spreads across the land, and princes and even kings arrive in Hastinapura from the most far-flung places in thousands to have some instructions from the Acharya. Among those that come in hope or Rahan is Ekalabya, son of Hiranyadhanush, king of the Nishadas. Drona senses the boy's genius at once and refuses to take him as his pupil, saying that he is a Nishada. The master fears that this youth might surpass his high-born Sishyas, but, oh Parantapa, Ekalabya lays his head at Drona's feet, makes his way into the deep jungle, where he fashions a lifelike image in clay of Drona and begins to worship the statue as if this is Drona himself, whom the youth has taken in his heart for his guru. Before that clay image, Ekalabya ceaselessly practices with his bow and arrows, such is his devotion to his master, his extraordinary talent, and the rigor of his discipline that he quickly becomes an exceptional archer. Effortlessly, he fits arrows to his bowstring, aims and looses them with unerring accuracy, the three parts of archery. His skill is prodigious, matchless. One day, with Drona's leave, the Kuru and Pandava princes go hunting in their chariots. A servant follows them with a hunting dog and carrying whatever the princes might need in the wilderness. Arriving in the forest, the young Kshatriyas earnestly begin their hunt. The dog wanders off on its own and comes upon Ekalabya. It sees the black Nishada covered in dirt, wearing a black hide. his hair tangled in wild hatha, and barks at him. Quick as thinking, Ecalabia turns and shoots 7 arrows into the dog's mouth, silencing it. Whimpering, the dog runs back to his masters. The princes take gaping wonder and disbelief at the beast. They feel humbled. For certainly, none of them could have shot 7 arrows into the dog's mouth so swiftly and unerringly, when it must have told to run after receiving the first one. The princess combed the forest for the hidden archer. Soon enough, they find him, shooting arrows from his bow in an incredible, endless stream. Seeing the grim-faced stranger, they ask, "Whose son are you?" He replies, "Kshatriyas, I am the son of Hiranyandhanush, king of the Nishadas. Know that I am the Sishya of Drona, and I told to become a master of the longbow." The Kuru princess learn all there is to know about Ekalavya, ride back to Hastinapura, and go straight to Drona, to whom they describe the miraculous archery that the young Nishada in the forest displayed. Arjuna is terribly distressed, trembling with envy. He draws Drona aside privately and says accusingly, "Master, you clasped me in your arms with love and told me that no water pupil of yours will be my equal and that I will be the greatest archer in the world. How then is the Nishada King's sons clearly better than I am?" Okay, I guess the lesson obviously is about envy, probably. Drona thinks for a moment and quickly decides what he must do. Taking only Arjuna with him, he goes into the jungle to where Ekalavya was. He sees the Nishada prince wearing filthy rags, matted hatha on his hair, his body covered in dirt, with a bow in his hands, from which the arrows flare in a ceaseless, effortless style. When Ekalavya sees Drona, he runs to him, touches his feet, and prostrates himself before the Brahmana, worshipping Drona. Then Shata tells him that he is his Shishya, and then stands with folded hands, awaiting his Guru's command. "Rahan, no," Drona says to Ekalavya, "if, O archer, you are truly my Shishya, then you must give me Dakshina." Beaming to hear this, Ekalavya cries, "Oh my Guru, tell me what you want as Dakshina, for there is nothing that I will not give my master." Drona says, "Ekalavya, give me the thumb of your right hand." Never pausing, the smile of joy still on his face, Ekalavya slices off his right thumb with a sharp arrow and hands it to Drona. When his wound heals and he begins to shoot again without his thumb, he is not the archer he has been. He has lost his light-like swiftness and sureness of hand. Arjuna's feverish jealousy leaves him, and uh, that that is the end of this particular story. What the fuck? What? Uh, what is? What is the message of this? What do I have to? What? Uh, what I have to? Huh? What? I, is it okay to tell people to cut off their fingers or something like that? What? What is the point of this? Anyways, continuing. Two of Drona's pupils are masters of the maze, Duryodhana and Bhima, who, of course, are inveterate rivals as well. As Swadhyama excels at okay, as Swadhyama excels all the others at the secrets of the most mysterious astras, Nakula and Sahadeva are the finest swordmen. Yudhishthira is the best reciter. Yeah, probably, or something like that. I don't know. I guess cutting off a finger makes you more valuable. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Yudhishthira is the best Ralika, chariot warrior. However, as a complete warrior, Arjuna has no equal by a long way. He is the most intelligent, resourceful, tireless, and persevering prince. A great master of every weapon, he outstrips the greatest of Maharatas, and his renown spreads across the world from sea to sea. So all the princes receive the same instructions. None can approach Arjuna at archery or indeed in the devotion he bears to his guru. Amongst all the princes, Arjuna alone becomes an Atiratha, a chariot warrior who can face 60,000 enemies at once. The Haratirastras fell sons see the awesome strength of Bhima and the matchless archery of Arjuna, and envy rolls their very entrails. Narapungaba, one day, when their tutelage is complete, Drona wants to test the skills of his disciples and gathers them together. Before this, he has a wooden bear, a vulture made and perched on the highest branch of a lofty tree to be attached. When the princes stand before him, Drona says crisply, "Pick up your bows and aim at the beard in the tree. As soon as I tell you, shot to cut its head off. You will each have one shot, turn by turn." Drona, best among all Angira's descendants, says fierce to Yudhishthira, "Yudhishthira, you will have the first chance." Yudhishthira picks up his bow and aims at the faraway wooden bear, Maharati Rishabha. Now Drona asks Yudhishthira, "Prince, do you see the beard on the treetop?" Yudhishthira replies to his guru, "I do." Drona now asks, "What else do you see? Do you see the tree, your brothers, and me?" Yudhishthira says, "I see the tree, yourself, my brothers, and the beard." Drona repeats his question, and Yudhishthira's reply is the same. Apparently annoyed, Drona says, "Stand back, Yudhishthira, you will not strike the beard." Now, Drona calls, one by one, the princes, Duryodhana and his brothers, Bhima and also the princes from other lands who are his disciples. He asks each one the same question, and from each he has the same answer that Yudhishthira gives him. "I see the tree, yourself, my fellow Scythians, and the beard." Drona does not give any of them a chance to shoot at the wooden beard, but reproachfully tells them all to stand down. Okay. Just in case, there is some doubt about Karna appearing here. It seems likely that he enters the picture only later, during the exhibition of arms. Amazing. But anyways, aside from that, I guess now we're going to see how Arjuna does properly his work. I don't think it is bad in a sense, but this really feels like a whole training arc or something like that, you know? There is nothing really meaningful to extract of this, so I can't really. I can force it, but it wouldn't really have any meaning or really natural intention born from me. So yeah, we shall keep it going. Anyways. Canto 135. Sambhava continued. Vasampayana said, "When all the other princes have failed his test, Drona, with a smile, calls on Arjuna. He says, 'It seems you are the one to bring the bear down. Raise your bow and aim, my son.' Arjuna raises his bow, bends it and takes aim. He stands very still. Then Drona asks softly, 'Arjuna, do you see the bear, the tree, and me?' Arjuna replies, 'I see the beard, master, not the tree or you.' Drona seems pleased with Arjuna's answer. He asks that Pandava Maharatha, 'If you see only the vulture, describe it to me.' Arjuna says, 'I see only the head of the vulture, not its body.' The hair on Drona's body stands on end in the light. He says to Partha, 'Shoot it.' Arjuna looses his arrows and neatly severs the wooden vulture's head, bringing it down. Drona clasps Arjuna in his arms. He feels certain that Drupada and his allies are as good as vanquished. Okay, let me see. Yeah, okay. I guess then the lesson will be something like you need to really, if you want to do something, you only need to focus on the particular objective that you have, something like that. Using kind of the same method that was commonly used for the art of war, kind of extracting the war message into something more broad. Basically, whatever you're trying to do should be done in a manner in which you have your sole attention in the objective that you are trying to accomplish. In this case, the example of Arjuna and Drona is, he didn't even observe the whole, so to speak, picture. He was only capable of seeing the vulture's head because that was his objective, I think. So I guess that is kind of the message, and I guess when you are able to do it, I don't know what is the part of when you are able to do what you can kind of it shows that you can commit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what is it that it tries to mean when you're able to do it. But anyways, continue. Some days after this, Bharatirishabha, Drona goes to bathe in the holy Ganga, taking all his pupils with him. As soon as Drona enters the water, an enormous crocodile, which seems to have been sent by Yama himself, seizes him by the thigh. Now the Brahmana is quite capable of killing the beast and saving himself. Instead, pretending to be helpless, he cries as if in a panic to his Sishias on the shore, "Save me! Save me!" The words hardly leave his mouth when Arjuna has shot the monstrous crocodile with 5 terrific arrows, cutting it in 5 pieces so it releases Drona's leg and dies, while the others still stand dazed on the riverbank. Once again, seeing how vigilant Arjuna is, how quick his reflexes are, Drona is pleased no end. Bharadwaja's son, illustrious son, says to the irresistible Radhika Arjuna, powerful one, receive this ineluctable what the fuck? Powerful one, receive this ineluctable astra from me, and the mantras for discharging and recalling it. It is the Brahmasirasa, the weapon formed like the heads of Brahma. You must never cast it at any human adversary, for if invoked against an inferior enemy, it can consume the very universe. Child, they say that this astra has no equal in the 3 worlds. Keep it with the utmost care. If ever a Superman enemy threatens you, you can use the Brahmasirasa to kill him, and only then. Arjuna swears that he will do as Drona says, and then, folding his hands to his guru, receives the Mahastra. Drona says to him, "No one on earth shall become a better archer than you. No enemy shall ever vanquish you, and your achievements shall be unparalleled." Okay, very fine. I guess we had one tiny lesson, or kind of. It was very fine. Yet, we need to continue. Canto 136. Samkhava continued. My Sampayana said, "O Bharata, when Drona sees that his pupils, the sons of Dharatirashtra and Pandu, are masters at arms, he goes to the blind king and speaks to him in the presence of Kripa, Somadatta, Balika, the sage Bhishma, Vyasa, and Vidura. Drona says, "Greatest of the Kuru kings, your children's tutelage is complete. I crave your leave for them to show their skills to the people at an exhibition of arms." Dharatirashtra says in joy, "Brahmana, you have accomplished a great task. You decide the time, the place, and the nature of the exhibition. Ah, today's sorrow overwhelms me that I am blind, and I envy those blessed with sight who can watch my children perform. Vidura, my brother, give Drona all the help he needs. Nothing will make me happier." Vidura assures the king that he will, and goes with Drona. Drona selects a plot of land where no trees or bushes grow, but which has a good number of wells and small springs. Upon that land he worships and offers a sacrifice to the gods on a day of an auspicious nakshatra in the presence of the people. Bharatirishabha, the king's artisans, build a large and elegant arena and dice on that land. Dice? What is dice? Dice? What? What is a dice? I don't know. And dice on that land. By the rules for such a construction laid down in the Shastras, they bring every kind of weapon to do the dice. Okay, dice. They build a separate fire enclosure for the women, while the common citizens build themselves tiered stands from where to watch the princess display, while the richer ones pitch bright and luxurious tents for themselves around the arena. Then comes the day of the tournament, and the Dharatirashtra, what the fuck? The Haritarashtra, okay, I don't know how is it that somehow I lost the capacity of saying their name. Tahareterastra arrives at the royal enclosure of almost unearthly beauty, made from gold, adorned with strings of pearl and with lapis lazuli. Bhishma and the great Kripa walk before Tahareterastra, and his ministers come with him, wearing rich finery, accompanied by their Sakhis Gandhari of great fortune. Kunti and the other ladies of the royal household climb the steps to their platforms, even as the devastators do the Sumeru mountain. Enjoy. People of the four Varnas throng the arena to watch the princes show their skills. So impatient are they that the teeming crowd assembles there in what seems like a single moment. Trumpets blare, drums sound on every side, and the voices of the people echo as a single great voice. The arena is like a disturbed sea. Finally, Drona, wearing white, the sacred thread around his body white, his hair all white, and his beard, as also the garlands he wears, and his body smeared with white sandalwood paste, enters the arena. With Aswadhava at his side, they appear like the full moon in a clear sky with Mangala Mars beside him. Entering, the son of Bharadwaja performs the opposite worship, and other Brahmins, all knower of mantras, perform every auspicious and solemn ritual. Melodious music is played on string and wind instruments. Then some servitors enter, bearing anaphones of shining weapons, which they set down upon the dais. Now the Bharata princes, mighty Kshatriyas, file in, led by the eldest prince, Yudhishthira. They wear gauntlets and carry bows and quivers, and march in order of their age, and begin a breathtaking display of their skill at arms. So powerful and swift is that exhibition that some of the people lower or cover their heads in fright that arrows might fall upon them from the sky, while others watch calmly but wonder-stricken. Targets are set up, each bearing one prince's name. Flying around the arena on horseback, every prince finds his own target unerringly, with a clutch of arrows. So magnificent are they that the people feel they have been transported to a city of Gandharvas, and O Bharata, suddenly hundreds of thousands of voices are raised, crying, "Oh, well done, well done!" The people gape in wonder. Repeatedly, the princes show their mastery at the longbow, their stunning skill as charioteers. Then they pick up their swords and small shields and begin to circle the arena like a pride of young lions. The people stare winkingly at their magnificent physiques, their agility, grace, and lightning swift control over their weapons, with which they hew and strike at one another, but never once so much as nick their adversary's skin. Next, like two mountains, Bhima and Suryodhana enter the arena, maces in hand, both of them inwardly delighted at the prospect of this duel. They girded their loins and, drawing deep breaths, roar like two elephants trumpeting against each other for the favors of a cow elephant. Like two enraged elephants, the two awesome Kshatriyas circle each other, right and then left, and then they strike out like thunder and lightning at one another, while Vidura describes their duel to the blind Dharatirashtra, and Kunti does the same for Kankari, whose eyes are bound. Wow, let me see. Yeah, this is a pure imagination power, because I have one problem, and I think somehow my before continuing, somehow my mental energy gets more depleted with this, with than with some other occasions in which I have literally talked for hours. I don't know. I guess the imagery that takes place in my mind is sometimes too much or something like that. I don't know. At the very least, it is great, you know. So let me continue. Canto 137. Samkhava continued. By Sampayana continued. When Duryodhana and Bhima, strongest of Kshatriyas, fight in the arena, they immediately divide the spectators between them. Some of the people cry, "Look at the mighty Suryodhana!" Others shout, "Bhima, the invincible Bhima!" There is a great uproar, and seeing the crowd like an agitated sheep, Drona immediately calls his son and says, "Stop them! They must not divide the people like this and provoke the fury of the crowd." As Tuatkhama comes between the combatants who have their maces in the air and are like two swollen oceans agitated by the winds of the Pralaya, reluctantly they stand apart. Now Drona walks into the arena himself and holds his hand up so the musicians stop playing and silence falls. Drona speaks in a voice like rambling clouds. "Now you will see the skills of Arjuna, dearer to me than my own son." Sleepy? Yeah, probably. A little bit sleepy. Partha is the son of Indra and a master of every weapon. Like Vishnu's younger brother himself, the younger Arjuna performs the rites of propitiation and walks into the arena wearing his finger guards, carrying his bow and quiver full of arrows clad in golden mail. He appears like an evening cloud that reflects the sun's last rays and is lit by the colors of a rainbow, and also by streaks of lightning. The crowd is beside itself to see the teasprings, and conches resound all around the stadium, and the musicians take up again in celebration. There is a great roar in that place, for thousands of voices are raised at once in praise of Arjuna. "Here is Kanti's son, so full of grace. This is the dear Pandava, the middle one. He is the son of Indra, the protector of the Kurus, the greatest warrior, the greatest man of Dharma. No one is as dignified, respectful, and well-behaved as Arjuna." When Kunti hears all this, her breast well with milk, and the tears of joy that stream from her eyes mingle with the milk. What? What the fuck? What? 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 What the fuck is this bizarre image that what? What? Okay, okay. Dharatirashtra hears the uproar of affection for Arjuna, and in some delight asks Vidura, "Kshatri, what is this thing? Like an ocean suddenly rising to tear open the sky?" Vidura replies, "Rajan, Arjuna, the sons of Pandu and Pritha, has entered the arena wearing his kavacha. The crowd is shouting for him." The Dharatirashtra says, "Mahatman, I am blessed, favored and protected by the three fires that have sprung from the sacred wheel, which is Kunti." When the excited people are somewhat calm again, Arjuna begins an amazing display of his skills at arms. He makes fire with the Agnayastra, creates water with the Varunastra, winds with the Vayavastra, and clouds in the sky with the Parahanyastra. With the Baumastra he creates land, earth, and with the Parvatyastra he makes mountains. Then with the Antardhana he makes all these vanish in a wink. With other weapons he makes himself great and minuscule. One moment he appears at his chariot head, the next he rides in the chariot, and the next instant he stands upon the ground. He strikes targets set up for him with dazzling volleys of different shafts, some soft, some slender, and others thick. An iron boar flies swift as time around the arena, and the peerless bowman shoots 5 arrows like a single shaft onto its mount, all 5 together from his bowstring. He looses 21 shots into a hollow gauze horn hung from a rope swaying wild. And probably, I mean, it is fucking weird. The amount of categories that this book has had so far is amazing. This is more perverse than what meets the eye, or something like that. Continue. Sinless One. Arjuna shows his magical skills at the longbow, the sword, and the mace, and as he walks around the arena. Maharata, when Arjuna has almost finished his stunning display, when the crowd has fallen harsh by it and the music too has stopped, suddenly from the main gate to the arena comes the sound of someone slapping his arms against his shoulders and chest like thunder, announcing himself and his might. "O king!" The people cower at that sound, thinking, "Are the mountains being riven? Is the earth herself cracking open, or are thunderheads roaring from a clear sky, every eye is turned to the gate. Drona stands very still, with the five Pandavas around him, looking like the moon surrounded by the five stars of the constellation Hasta. Duryodhana jumps up, surrounded by his 100 brothers, and Aswadhama with them. The Kaurava prince and his brothers with their weapons raised looks like Indra in the eldest days, surrounded by his celestial warriors just before the war against the Danavas. What? And who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Canto 130 yet. Samkapara continue. By Sampayana continue. So lonely, white-eyed, the people make way for that Purandara, and Karna enters the arena majestically, a walking mountain of presence, with his natural golden armor, his golden earrings that he is born with, his sword at his waist, and his bow in his hand. The great-eyed hero, who will become a raiser of his enemy armies, is Kanti's son, born when she is a virgin in her father's house. He is an Amsa of the living sun, and his strength and his energy are those of a lion, a bull, or of a tusker that leads his herd. He is as splendid as Surya, as handsome as Soma, and he blazes like Agni Deva. He is tall like a golden palm tree, bursting with vital youth, and he can kill a lion with his bare hands, that son of Surya. Handsome is Karna, and beyond counting his gifts and accomplishments, he walks haughtily into the arena and bows cursorily to Drona and Kripa, barely inclining his head. No one in the crowd can take their eyes off him for a moment, and a single impatient thought is in everyone's mind. Who is he, this godlike warrior? The Suryaputra says to Arjuna, his brother he does not know, in a voice deep as rumbling thunder clankets. I will better you every feat, O Partha, before this staring crowd, and you will be astonished. In a moment, that crowd is on its feet, as if compelled to rise by an unseen and irresistible force. O Purushabhyarga. Suddenly, Duryodhana feels a tide of joy in his blood, while Arjuna feels a rush of shame and anger. Taking Drona's permission formally, Karna proceeds calmly to perform every feat that Arjuna has. Only he excels the Pandavas' exhibition effortlessly. Duryodhana and his brothers run to embrace the golden warrior. Duryodhana cries in joy, "Welcome, O Mahabaho, great hero! It is my great fortune that has brought you here today. Live among us as long as you please, for I am yours to command, as is this kingdom of the Kurus." Karna replies, "When you say it, I think of it as being already done. But, Suryodhana, I want only your friendship and your love. Also, my lord, I now challenge Arjuna to a single combat, a duel." Duryodhana says, "Enjoy the best that life has to offer with me. Be my friend and my benefactor. O Parantapa, grind the heads of your enemies beneath your feet." Feeling humiliated, Arjuna says to Karna, who stands among the Kauravas like some shining cliff, "Karna, you shall find the fate of the unwelcome intruder and the uninvited speaker, for I will kill you." What the fuck? Karna replies, "This arena is not your private preserve, Arjuna, but meant for everyone to show their skills. The Kshatriya regards deeds, not words. Argument is for the weak. Bharata, tie to me with arrows and I will strike your head off with arrows. Why? In the very presence of your guru." His brothers embrace Arjuna, one by one, and bowing to Drona, Partha stands forth, ready for the duel. On the other side, Duryodhana and his brothers embrace Karna, and he also stands forth with his bow and arrows. Suddenly the sky fills with dark clouds, gouged by lightning, and Indra's bow, the rainbow, the Indradhanush, flashes its colors across the stadium and the arena. A flight of white cranes wings its way across the clouds, which seem to rumble with laughter at the pale beards. Seeing Indra looking down upon the arena of the Kurus, out of love for his son, Surya dispels the clouds above his own, bathing Karna in golden light. Arjuna is hidden by the darkness of clouds, while Karna shines in the rays of the sun. The Haratirashtra sons stands with Karna, while Drona, Kripa, and Bhishma stands behind Arjuna. The crowd is also divided in its loyalty, as are the women in the enclosure. Realizing who the golden warrior is, Kunti faints, killed by the women of the palace. Vidura revives her by sprinkling sandalwood paste mixed with water over her. Waking, Kunti sees her two sons wearing armor, facing each other, and fear grips her, but she is helpless to do anything. At Watson, Kripa sees the two warriors with their bows in their hands, strong, ready for the duel. He knows the rules for such an encounter and speaks to Karna. Kripa says, "This Pandava of the house of Uru is the youngest son of Kunti and stands ready to battle with you. Mahabahu, you must also declare yourself. Tell us your lineage, the names of your father and your mother, and of the royal line of which you are the jewel. When you have declared your ancestry, Arjuna will decide if he will fight you or not, for the sons of kings never engage low-born men." Suddenly Karma's face falls. He is like a brilliant lotus torn pale and its petals shredded by lashing rain. But now Duryodhana speaks. "Acharya, the Shastras clearly say that three kinds of men can claim royalty for themselves. Those that are born royal, great heroes, and men that lead armies. If Arjuna will not fight anyone that is less than a king, I say to you, I will crown Karna king of Angna." Okay, water. Immediately calling for a golden throne to be fetched, with dry rice, grains, flowers, arrows, with holy water, called for Dana, Duryodhana has his Brahmanas formally crowned Karna king of Anga, which is part of the Kuru kingdom but has no ruler. The white sovereign parasol is on full over Karna's hair, and yak-tailed chamaras wait around the most graceful and tremendous warrior. When the lusty cheering of the section of the crowd loyal to Duryodhana subsides, Karna, now a king, says to the Kaurava prince, "Tiger among princes, what can I give you in return for this gift of a kingdom? I will give you anything at all." So Duryodhana replies to him, "I want your friendship." Karna replies, "That is already yours." They embrace in joy and feel untold delight. What? What? Too many questions, too few answers, probably. Anyways, Canto 139. Sambhava continued. By Sampayana said, "Now Arhidata walks into the arena, sweating, trembling, and supporting himself with the staff. Karna sees his adoptive father, puts down his bow, and bows his head, still dripping with the waters of the Abhisheka that has made him a king. The Sutta charioteer could look over his feet with his cloth and clasps Karna in his arms, his son who has become a king. His tears of love and joy fall onto Karna's head, mingling with the water of the coronation. Bhima sees Arhiratha and mocks Karna. Sutaputra, son of a charioteer, you do not deserve to die at Arjuna's hands. Throw away your bow and take up a horsewhip. It better suits your beard and your station, low-born fellow. Surely you deserve to be king of Anga as much as a dog deserves to feed on the gift from a yagna fire." Karna fetches a resounding sigh and looks up in despair at the sun god in the sky, for he cannot respond to Bhima taunts. But now, like a maddened elephant rising from a bank of lotuses, Duryodhana rises in wrath from amongst his brothers. He says to the mighty Bhima, "Bigodara, your words demean you. A Kshatriya is always judged by just his prowess, and a Kshatriya, even if he is a lowborn, deserves a fight if he is powerful. The origin of the greatest heroes is like the spring of a great river, unknown, hidden. The Vadava that consumes the world in flames rises from the sea. The Vajra that burns the Danavas is made from a bone of a mortal man. That Hichi, the lineage of the illustrious god Karlikeya, who is an Amsa of every other Deva. The deity Kuja remains a mystery. Some say he is the son of Agni, some say he is Kritika's son, others say he is the child of Rudra, and yet others say he is Ganga's son. We have all heard of men born as Kshatriyas becoming Brahmanas, Vishwamitra, and other Rajarishis. To attain the Parabrahman, or peerless Acharya Drona is born from a waterboard and creep off the race of Gautama in a clump of reeds. O Pandavas, consider your own beards. I ask you, can a dog bring forth a tiger like this Karna, as splendid as the sun, and bearing every auspicious mark upon his body, and born with natural Kavacha and Kuntala? I tell you, this prince among men deserves to be not merely king of Anga, but of the world, for he is so mighty, and I have sworn to obey him in all things. If there is anyone here who disagrees with him, with what I have done for Karna, let him climb into his chariot and bend his bow with his feet. There is a loud and somewhat confused murmur among the crowd at what Duryodhana says, but now the sun sets and Duryodhana takes Karna's hand and leads him out of the arena, now being lit with countless lamps. Rajan, the Pandavas, with Drona, Bhishma and Kripa also return to the palace. The people also go to their homes, some with Arjuna's name on their lips, others with Karna's, and others praising Duryodhana's deed. Kunti, who recognizes her firstborn son from all the auspicious marks upon his body, is delighted to see him made king of Anga. As for Duryodhana, having made a friend of Karna, he banishes the fear of Arjuna's stellar archery from his heart. Karna, great warrior, gives his wholehearted friendship and loyalty, and speaks sweetly and gently to the Kaurava prince, pleasing him in every way. Yudhishthira is certain that there is no warrior on earth like Karna. Um, there is no fight. There is no fight. I wanted to see a fight. I wanted a fight. I was literally looking forward for that fight, my man. I wanted to see some more than. Huh. Okay, give me a second. Oh, my Sampayana. No, sorry. Canto 140. Somehow Parva continued. My Sampayana continued. Now that their education is complete and the sons of Dharatirashtra and Bandhu are proficient at arms, Drona feels the time has come to ask them for Guru Dakshina. He calls them together one day and says, "It is time you gives me my Dakshina for what I have taught you. I want you to vanquish the Panchala king Drupada in battle. Bind him and bring him before me as a captive." Without hesitation, the young Kshatriyas reply, "We shall!" They climb into their chariots and ride out of Hastinapura, taking Drona with them to give their guru the fee he wants. Those Purusharishapkas, bull among men, sweep through Panchala lands, disdainfully raiding any resistance they meet, and lay siege to Drupada's capital. Duryodhana, Karna, mighty Yuyutsu, Dushasana, Vikarna, Halasamha, Sulochana, and so many other tremendous Kshatriya princes are now keen to lead the attack on the city. Riding in fine chariots, the princes follow the fierce charge of their cavalry, burst into the Panchala capital, and thunder down the city streets. Drupada, meanwhile, sees the attacking force. He hears the din it makes as it breaches his city gates and emerges from his palace with his brothers to face the intruders. Holy fuck, the intruders. The great Drupada Yagnasena is mighty indeed, but the Kurus roar altogether and cover him with their arrows. But Drupada is a quenchless Kshatriya with hardly an equal on earth at arms. He flies at the enemy in his flashing white chariot, flitting here and there and assailing them with a veritable gale of arrows from his wizardly bow. Before this battle begins, and while the Kauravas are beating their chests to be at the city and its kings, Arjuna does not string his bow but says quietly to his master, the great Brahmana, "None of these can ever hope to take captive Drupada in battle. Let him exhaust them, and then we will arrive." Thus the Pandavas wait at Johanna outside the city, while the Kauravas attack it. Inside Drupada's capital, in the main city square outside the palace, Drupada by now has the measure of the Kuru princess. His arrow storms steadily, beat the marauders back, injuring almost every prince. So swiftly and adroitly does he maneuver his chariot that the Kurus feel that no one but 100 terrible Drupadas carried them. From every side, the dauntless kings' shafts fly at the Kuru's force, and then everywhere conches boom and drums are heard, in thousands and thousands, sounding the general alarm for the Panchalas to rouse themselves, for danger threatens. Quickly, a great Panchala force gathers and faces the enemy. From that teeming host, there arises a roar like some mythic lions. The twanging of their bowstrings threaten to tear open the sky. This only enraces the dauntless Duryodhana, Vikarna, Subaho, Dirgalochana, Dushasana, and their brothers. They loose fierce volleys of arrows at the Panchalas, wounding even their king. But Prisata's son, or Bharata, the invincible Drupada, raises his own archery to another realm. He whirls across the field like a wheel of fire, and in the twinkling of an eye strikes Duryodhana, Vikarna, and even Karna, as well as countless other enemy warriors with his fierce barbs, as if to quench those shafts' thirst for blood. And now the people of the Panchala capital attack the Kurus from every side with any kind of weapon on which they can lay their hands. Young and old rush into the fray, hurling spears and staff and pistols at the enemy like clouds pour raindrops upon the air. The Kauravas are overwhelmed. They panic and flee, howling back out of the city and were thrown away with the Pandavas. The Pandavas hear the wails and screams of their cousins as they turn tail, and now the sons of Pandu calmly climb into their chariots. Arjuna quickly tells Yudhishthira that as the heir to the throne of Hastinapura, he must not take part in this skirmish. Drona endorses the view, and Yudhishthira remains with his guru. Bhima, mace in hand, leads the charge of four brothers, while Nakula and Sahadeva ride beside the chariot wheels of Arjuna, following his titanic brother, whose roars shake the earth and the sky. The Panchalas roar back, but their yells are drowned by the thunder of the chariot wheels of Matirasa Arjuna. Like a great Makara entering the sea, Bhima Mahabaho rushes eagerly into the Panchala ranks, mace in hand, and he's like another Yama. His roars are like a tempest racing upon an ocean. Bhima first goes among the Panchala war elephants and smites them with his dreadful Gada like death himself. The mountainous beasts fall all around him, their heads smashed like melons, their blood spraying everywhere, running in streams down their own bodies. The mastodons collapse like cliffs struck by thunder and crumbling. Meanwhile, the carnage Arjuna brings to the elephants is as savage as his mace-wielding brothers. He fells them at will with searing fusillades of arrows. Nukula and Sahadeva are not far behind in the havoc they fetch. The Pandavas fell thousands of elephants and horses, shatter chariots beyond count, and kill as many foot soldiers and Rathikas. Bhima drives the Panchalas before him on pachyderms, horses or in chariots, as a herdsman in the forest does his cattle. Remembering the purpose of their mission, remembering the word he has given Drona, Arjuna shoots Drupada down from the back of the elephant that King now rides. Again, he turns his attentions to the rest of the Panchala army and once more consumes them all around him, even like the fire at the end of the Yuga. In thousands upon thousands he rises the enemy. Roused, the Panchalas and the Srinkhayas loose a gale of every manner of weapon at Arjuna, roaring to shake the ground beneath their feet and chariot wheels. They fight frantically against the Pandava. A pitched, brutal battle breaks out. Hearing the enemy roar at him, the eyes of Indra's son turn red and charges at them, covering them with a dense swarm of deadly arrows, falling on them with renewed ferocity. Those that watch Arjuna, his body bright, see his hands as a blur, they see no pause in his archery. It is a single constant stream, a thing of marvel. The scream of those that Arjuna slays, mingled with the helpless cries of admiration that he draws from his enemies at his unearthly archery. Drupada, king of the Panchalas, with his Senapati Satyajit at his side, rushes at Arjuna rather as the Asuras and Bharati at Indra during their contention in time out of mind. Arjuna covers him in a cloak of brilliant arrows. A dismal cry erupts from the Panchala host, like that of a herd of elephants when a lion springs at the leader of the herd. Satyajit sees Arjuna bearing down on Drupada to seize him, and the mighty Panchala Senapati flies at the Pandava. They fight, circling in their chariots like Indra and Virochana's son Mahabali did of yore. Suddenly, Arjuna shatters Satyajit defenses and strikes him with 10 arrows, drawing a gasp from the watching army. But reluctantly Satyajit loses 100 shafts in reply to Arjuna. Quick as thinking, Maharata Arjuna tightens his bowstring and raises his archery. He breaks the bow in Satyajit's hand and speeds towards Drupada again. But Satyajit seizes up a stronger bow and in a flash strikes Arjuna, his chariot, his horses, and his sarathi with a cluster of arrows. Arjuna is not forgiving, but retorts with a rush of shafts that find Satyajit's horses. Charioteers shred his banner, break his bows, pierces agony through his left hand that lose fire, and shoots the warrior who guards his back. Finding his bows repeatedly cut in twain and his horses slain, Satyajit gives up the unequal fight and retreats. Amazing. Drupada sees his Senapati beaten and loses a flurry of weapons at Arjuna, who breaks the Panchala king's bow and also his flagstaff and strikes his horses and his sarathi, all with 5 shafts each. Suddenly, with a roar, Arjuna throws down his bow and quiver, seizes up a curved sword, and leaps from his chariot into his adversary's ratha. In a wink, he sets the sword to Drupada's throat and seizes him, as Garuda does, a great sea serpent after stirring the waves with his wings. The Panchala soldiers flee in every direction. Roaring still, triumphantly at having shown his prowess in his first actual battle, Arjuna issues from the Panchala army and the city gates with his captain now in his own chariot. Seeing him, Bhima roars like 10 lions and falls even more ferociously upon the hapless Panchala troops, while Nakula and Sahadeva also begin to raise the city. Arjuna cries to them, "This best of kings is related to the Kurus, spare his men, Bhima, we come only to give our Acharya his Dakshina, and that we have now." Reluctantly, for he has not had his fill of bloodshed, Bhima stops his slaughtering. The Pandava princes ride back to Drona with Drupada, whom they offer to their master for his fee. Drona sees Drupada his captive to do with as he pleases. He sees the Panchala king humble and helpless, and he remembers how his childhood friend had humiliated him. Says Drona, "I have laid waste your kingdom and your capital, but do not fear for your life, though it is now in your enemy's hand. Tell me, Drupada, do you know when to be my friend again?" Drona smiles. "No, have no fear for your life, because we Brahmanas are forgiving by nature. Kshatriya Rishabha, I have not forgotten our old friendship and love from when we were boys together in our Guru's asrama. And so, O King, I ask you once again for your friendship, and in return, as my gift to you, I will give you back half your kingdom, which is now mine. You once told me that only one king could befriend another, so, O Yagnasena, I will keep half your kingdom. You will be king of all the Panchala lands south of the Ganga, while I become king of those north of the river. Panchala, if it pleases you, be my friend again." Drupada replies, "You are a noble soul and a mighty indeed, O Drona, and I am not surprised by your generosity. I wish for eternal friendship with you." Drona releases the Panchala king, O Bharata, and formally returns half his kingdom to him, believing innocently that the past is forgotten and they are both pleased. Thereafter, Drupada begins to lie in sorrow in the city of Campilya in the province of Makandi on the banks of the Ganga. He still rules over many towns and cities. After Dona vanquishes him, Drupada also rules the southern Panchalas up to the bank of the Charmangwati, and he is utterly convinced that he can never hope to defeat the Brahmana in battle because Drona is immeasurably more powerful than he is in Brahma Shakti. But being a Kshatriya, Drupada is determined to have his revenge. He arranges the world, wishing for a son who will one day kill Drona. Meanwhile, Drona lives in Ahichatra, ruling over the northern Panchalas. Thus, indeed, is the land of Ahichatra, full of towns and cities, won in battle by Arjuna and given to Drona for his Guru Dakshina. Amazing. How long is this next one? Because if it is too long, we're not reading it. Okay, 2 pages. Okay. We're going to see. I don't know how much we have in here. 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay. Not that much. We can continue a little bit more. Sorry. Canto 141. Samhaparva continued. My Sampayana continued. A year passes, then the Dhritarashtra makes Pandu's son Yudhishthira the Yuvaraja, the heir apparent. It is the wish of the people of the eldest Pandava, is an embodiment of Dharma in his rectitude, his firmness, fortitude, patience, kindness, frankness, and perfect honesty. Very quickly, Kunti's son overshadows even his father's Pandu great deeds. So punctilious and righteous is Yudhishthira, so devoted to the kingdom and his people. At about the same time, Bhima Brikodara receives further lessons from Balarama at mates fighting, and fighting with sword and from a chariot. When he completes his tutelage, Bhima is as mighty as Balarama himself, and he is as devoted as ever to his brothers. Arjuna, of course, wins great renown for his archery, his swiftness of hand, the firmness of his grip, his incredible accuracy. Besides, he is a master of the Shura, the Naracha, the Bala, and the Vipatha, while he is an expert at every weapon. Be it straight or curved, heavy or light, Drona openly endorses the belief that there is no archer, no complete warrior on earth to rival Arjuna. One day, in the presence of all the Kuru princes, Drona says to Arjuna, Agastya Muni has a disciple in the Astra Shastra, and his name is Agnivesa. Agnivesa was my Guru, and I was his Sisya. I performed tapasya and served my master diligently, so he gave me the Brahmasirsa, which never fails, which is like thunder, and which can consume the very earth. O Bharata, that Astra can now pass from one Sisya to another. When he gave it to me, my Guru said, O son of Bharadwaja, you must never cast this Astra at any Manava, especially not one who is not himself a great warrior. Kshatriya, you and you alone have received that weapon from me, and no one else deserves to have it, but you must honor the command of the Rishi Agnivesha. Also, Arjuna, now swear in the presence of your brothers and cousins, another king, that you will give me whatever dakshina I demand from you. Arjuna says simply, I swear, Acharya. Drona says, sinless, if you ever meet me in battle, you must fight without giving me any quarter. Arjuna is startled, but he bows his head, swearing to do what his master asks. He then touches Drona's feet for his blessing, and taking it, goes away to the north. Soon a cry ranges throughout the world. A great shout covers the earth, and her girdle of seas that there is no bowman anywhere like Arjuna the Pandava. It is true, no one can face him in battle. With the mace, the sword, the chariot, and especially with a bow. His skills and his prowess are unearthly. Sahadeva learns Dharma, all the laws of morality and duty, from Brihaspati, when he continues living under the control of his elder brothers. Nakula, the favorite of his brothers, becomes a Maharatha, a master of chariot warfare, and his guru is Drona. Arjuna and the other Pandavas become so powerful that they kill the great Saubira in battle. Saubira, who has performed a yagna that lasted 3 years, easily repulsing the constant rage of marauding and Harabas. Arjuna subdues the king of the Yavanas, whom even Pandu had failed to conquer. The brilliant Arjuna makes Vipula, a Saubira king of great might, who had always shown disregard for the Kurus, feel the keen edge of his power. He humbles King Sumitra of the same race, who is also called Dadamitra, who had challenged him contemptuously. Bhima and Arjuna by themselves in a single chariot subdue all the kings of the east, who have 10,000 chariots. Arjuna by himself conquers the entire south and sends back vast wealth to Hastinapura. He is then called Dananjaya, winner of world. Thus, the Pandavas extend the Kuru kingdom in every direction, with their unearthly, irresistible prowess, seeing their astonishing achievements. Suddenly, the Dhritarashtra is stricken by envy, which enters his heart like poison. Dreadful anxiety seizes the king in green talons, and he can hardly sleep. Okay. Okay, no, we are done. We're done. With that, we are done then. We're leaving it. Oh my god. We did it. We are leaving it, as I was trying to say, on the count of 140. My bro. Oh, what amazing, an amazing visual experience, let's say, because it really gets somehow the mind going. I don't know what happens, but it happens. It was very fun, you know. It was very, very fun. So yeah. Now we really need to take a break. I am going to try and, so to speak, take a break, or yeah, let's see if I can sleep or something like that. I don't know. This is enough for today. 142 is where I left it. So yeah, from the next time we are starting there and onwards. Now, as always, it is already more than enough for us to take our leave, to decide to stop a little bit, because yeah, it is needed to have some beautiful rest. Well, now let me see if I can find somebody to raid, because you know it is always good to raid. And also, I think I said it the other day, I was trying to go for a streak of raids, and I noticed that I had done like 150 streams, not just 100. So, with that being said, we have a lot more than what I thought we had before to cover up our problems. Yeah, thanks as always for your presence, everybody. It was beautiful, but we have to end it. Thank you. Let me do it a little bit more properly. Thanks as always for everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for watching the world. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for everything. We now let me see if I can find somebody to raid. I think yeah, okay. We can do whoever, right? I think. Let me see. We have somebody. Yeah. We have this one guy, or yeah, we have this one interesting individual who is Stupid Panso. Wow, um, who is playing Dark Souls 2. Now, I will leave you with this guy. I will take my leave, and we are going to see each other in the future. Now, let me make the raid itself, because I didn't do it. Raid, channel, I did this. Amazing. Now, as I was saying, please take care. Remember to properly do your bindings. And yes, we did. We had a great stream, but now it is time for us to rest the mind. And when the opportunity arises in the future, we're going to see each other once again. But now, time to raid, time to distract the mind, and time to be happy. Goodbye. And also, the fucking red message didn't work. Amazing. Anyways, yeah, it didn't work. Anyways, goodbye. Brrr, brrr.